everyone, welcome back to another round of Arbitration Studios as we wheel and deal across the galaxy in the whole damn thing of the Mass Effect trilogy. I'm JP Arbiter.
And I'm Captain Jack.
And we've got ourselves the finale, the suicide mission for Mass Effect 2. Buckle up, bitches. So when we were first recruited, accidentally, Legion the Geth, we were there in the first place to secure a piece of Reaper hardware.
Indeed.
To be able to go to where the collectors are. And this is where, like, one of the best and worst things to happen in terms of constructing the story occurs, because once you pass that point, there is some math bullshit going on that says whether or not it's ready, the IFF is ready to install, and then once you get this cutscene, you are on the clock. Yeah. You can do like maybe one mission in order to get the best outcome, and then after that, your crew starts dying.
Yeah,
left, right, and center.
Yep.
I don't like that. I think it's there's a mod that solves the issue by just having the installation of the IFF literally be a player input, which I think is how it should have happened. But I am also a filthy console peasant.
Well, I mean, look, when it comes to that, and honestly, I'll tell you the truth, I only play this game on console. Even though I play a lot of games on PC, I am not one of these, oh gods! It's so big.
That's what she said.
Now, in a lot of sci-fi properties that I really enjoy, one of the common things is making a spacecraft out of a asteroid.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. I think
even Warhammer 40K has done that recently. They have these concepts called Space Hulks,
right,
which are literally just detritus that eventually collides together and fuses together into these unrecognizable things. And there was this whole story arc where Abaddon and a demon that he allied with made functioning holy fuck huge ships in a universe full of holy fuck huge ships, but these dwarfed them out of Space Hulks, because how do you destroy a ship that's functionally a small planetoid?
So this particular bit right here, I'm not sure if you call it a mission. I mean, it's a mission where you get to finally play, in my opinion, one of the best characters in the game, which is Joker, amazingly played by Seth Green.
Yep.
And it is at one time the most holy shit, scariest, but also funniest, due to the interplay between him and Edie.
Yep. We also finally get to see Jeff move.
Yeah.
I mean, we never did, and yeah, he talked in Mass Effect 1 about how he was reliant on crutches, and it's kind of, it's Kelly.
No.
Or Kelly. They kind of imply that Jeff underwent some cybernetic upgrades so he could walk around without crutches. I guess like some reinforcement to his legs.
So one of the things I like about Edie is that from the beginning, Edie has a little bit of a sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
And you often in sci-fi properties do not get, like, AIs don't at the very beginning have a sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
And a sense of, I think that one of the first signs of real intelligence, of real honest intelligence, is a sense of humor, is an ability to make jokes, which
I don't know if it's a sense of humor so much as a sense of theater, for want of a better way to put it. Like, if she had developed a sense of the dramatic without being melancholy all the time, that would work too. So like understanding that to get to your point, which I want to say enhances the point, not takes away from it. It is a creation where it's not just the information that you dispense, but it's how you dispense it.
Yeah. Um, and here comes in for me, anyways. Whenever I play it, because thanks to my TBI, I almost always don't remember ever having played this part, so it's always kind of gets into my. Is sneaking around in such a way that you don't get noticed. And I just to me, I never remember how easy it is
Mm-hmm.
to do. I always feel like I'm gonna get, I always get that feeling of I'm gonna get caught, I'm gonna get caught,
Well,
which is cool, which I
the
like.
as, and especially because the thing is that that sequence in the staircase is a real trick because for the entire event, the whole point is never stop moving. And the fact that Joker can't move well, so he's constantly at even slower than Shepard's walking pace.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
walking pace in air quotes, Shepard always kind of half jogs.
It's because Shepard's from the military.
But well, so is Jeff. But Jeff also,
He's a pilot.
yeah, pilots don't have feelings. But to have it here where he's like, I can't stop moving, and
Mhm.
even with
Yeah.
whatever prosthetics he may have to help his mobility, probably moving this much was pure agony for him.
Absolutely.
So to have to have it never stop moving, never stop moving. I can't stop moving. I got to keep going. And then you hit that staircase and you realize that you have to stop. And that's a subtle thing to do to create tension, where it's just like you have to stop and think and realize, oh,
Yep. Yeah. Gets me every time. Every time. And I like it that it gets me every time.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, there are certain things that don't get you every time. There are certain things that happen once, and you're chasing it the whole time.
And part of this here, with Shepard's characterization, it's Miranda, understandably, because she wouldn't make the mistake, according to her. Yeah, she would have. She is pissed. Like, you lost the entire fucking crew and our ship got boarded, even though logically it's not Jeff's fault. So when our Shepard, Agatha goddamn Fisty, takes over, her first priority is the ship's hardware okay? Are we dead in the water or can we move? Because wrangling on Joker's not going to do anything.
No. We have to. There's a, let's go deliver some hell. Enemy hit us. Let's hit him back
and at this point, it's almost, to use the historical context, like we're doing the Doolittle raid at this point, because that was done what, a month or two after Pearl Harbor.
Not long after. Yeah.
And the whole idea was, was it militarily effective? No, but it made a fucking point.
Yeah.
Because one of the Japanese's big assumptions was that after the attack on Pearl Harbor, it would take almost a year for America to be able to strike, to even think about striking back. And no, we hit them back a couple months later because we had to figure out how to unarmor our damned.
Yeah, I mean, there's a yeah. So for me, whenever I go into this, this final kind of push to the end of this, and you get Miranda saluting you, which is honestly out of character for her and really weird and off-putting.
Well, because unlike us, she never served.
Yeah, no,
and really, for a civilian organization, even a civilian paramilitary organization, to have this have that salute is kind of off-putting. Now,
but it was a good salute.
Yes,
I will give her that. She had a good salute.
Well, it's the same animation. They just applied to different models.
Yeah.
So here is where, under normal circumstances, we would have a romantic encounter with whoever we wanted to bang on the ship. We'll bang, okay?
Yeah. No.
But since we are going purely devoted to Liara, we are foregoing that and just smiling at our girl's picture.
It is. There's of course an achievement for following the romance of one character throughout the whole game, throughout all three of the games. If you didn't know about that, there you go. There's something new for you. Most people, I think, know about it. And but you know, it's one of those ones where if you get it, great. If not,
Nah.
you know, there's always another time. Now we have again the greatest, I think, the greatest um, voiced villain in video game. I just think that Martin Sheen essentially playing the anti Jeb Bartlett, like the exact opposite of who his West Wing character was.
I want to make a point on a lost opportunity here. We invite the Elusive Man onto the ship. I think that would have been great.
Yeah.
I think that having him be Edie and Joker's co-pilot, fundamentally being powerless to like really stop anything, especially because Edie is unshackled, and to have him be like your mission controller over the radio, that's a missed opportunity.
I think it's a I mean, I think it was a missed opportunity. I'm not sure if it would have added or taken away from anything. But it's certainly a missed opportunity. Like it's certainly something that should have been an option. Whether or not people take it, that's entirely up to them. But I like here we have again great. This is just a neat cinematic.
The only thing that jars me on this is the rapid cuts everywhere because the game has to take into account what upgrades that you took. We've completely upgraded the Normandy on this, so you'll see everyone survive.
Yeah.
But it is a great action sequence. So
and honestly, you could. I mean, with very little effort, you could take this and make an animated movie out of it. With very, very little effort, make a good animated movie out of this.
I did like that whole prospect of we drop out of slip space or whatever, and the first thing we have to do is pull up because holy fucking shit, huge piece of former ship in our way.
Yep, man, you got a ship graveyard, a junkyard. And again, this is another part that I always forget is the drones, is the drone fight bit.
Yep.
I always, for whatever reason, I always forget that.
And we see them again in Mass Effect 3 serving a very valuable, the small fighter / point defense thing.
Yep.
Because really, manned fighter craft in a space combat is just kind of effing stupid.
It is. Generally speaking. Now, one of the things that I have also really loved about the Mass Effect universe is that while things often look like lasers, they are not in fact lasers. Because
that's liquid metal that is accelerated so fast that it literally breaks into the IR spectrum.
Yep. So it's kind of a neat. I mean, obviously, it's sci-fi weaponry, so it's not but it's a neat kind of like whether it's lasers or not really doesn't matter. It's still doing the same thing, but it's just an interesting kind of thing that they did. And
so we got to repel boarding action, and that means bringing Legion because he hasn't been brought on board yet.
Indeed.
Or wait, do I bring Legion?
I don't know what you do. You played it, bro.
Yeah, I played it like a year ago.
Oh, that's fair. I mean,
it's a boarding action, so you want to bring your toughest, most badass. So
yeah, Zaid and Grunt. Grunt's our baby boy. I love Grunt.
Baby boy.
I love Grunt. There are some characters I just wish continued on with you, and I get kind of what they did with 3, but I just really do wish we could have kept Grunt. Like anybody else, like not anybody else really. The teens in 3 is fine, but Grunt, Grunt's the only person sometimes that seems to be having a good time, and I kind of like that.
Well, we got. I think Vega was a great replacement for the traditional Krogan.
Yeah.
Because again, he is a pure soldier through and through.
Yep.
So yeah, he kind of loves the thrill of battle. He understands, holy shit, my life is in danger right now. But it's so it's not quite a video game for him. Stares
Right.
at the camera, but it is. He does appreciate the thrill
Yeah.
of combat, but he's not.
He's not Krogan.
Yeah, he's not a Krogan either. But that also means that he feels the negative impacts of combat and the negative implications of the wider war.
Well, and you know, we'll talk about that later when we talk about 3. So, but speaking about, you know, because we're in 2, 2 got a lot of awards in the video game. I mean, a lot.
Insofar as video awards for video games count for anything.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And at the time, 2 was one of, I mean, obviously, God of War, what is it, 4? Ragnarok hadn't come out yet, so, you know, but as far as telling a narrative story, with as far as telling a narrative story, this was fantastic. It was really a great, tight, small, well-established story.
Want to point something out real quick on Miranda? You'll notice that she is in her armored outfit right now.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that because, frankly, we're going feet first into hell, so everyone's got to be suited up as best as possible. I think I also swapped Tally's faceplate to the one where most of it is armor. There's just slits for vision.
Well, in my opinion, and in my opinion, if you're going to go into a suicide, you know, situation, you got to suit up.
Yep.
You got to be wearing your best. You got to be looking sharp. And here comes this thing with its giant frickin'.
Now that is a particle weapon. That's not the liquid metal Thanix guns everywhere. And honestly, I think that those drones did use lasers.
It's possible. I mean, the thing is that they do use lasers in this universe, but they're not as common as in a lot of other fantasy universes. Really, and they describe it as a Mass Effect weaponry, but really that's a, you know,
Skadoosh.
But really it's a particle cannon. You're accelerating particles to near light speed, and those cannons that you just fired are amazingly powerful, because you just blew up an asteroid.
Yeah.
And an asteroid that
had... And in the case of where it's different from a particle accelerator is that, first off, it uses a collection of, I think they flat out say it's uranium, that is liquefied and then projected. And you're talking about, you know, the idea of a weaponized particle accelerator is usually like using hydrogen. So something that is light and cheap and plentiful. So
which is in space kind of everything. You know,
but you know, still, it's like taking a you know, a .17 caliber BB and just throwing it at you. The Thanix cannon is like throwing baseballs at a person.
Well,
at ballistic speed.
Hey, look, we destroy those guys, which at this point, after playing the game, after getting killed by them at the beginning of the game, which honestly, to this day, gets me every time. Well done, BioWare. I don't care what anybody says. But then at the end, you get that revenge, and that just feels good. That just feels good to get them. And here we have your...
No, apparently I do not give Tally her armored faceplate, or maybe her armored faceplate is in 3.
And here we have the obligatory
shepherd speech.
Shepherd speech, which you know, you can't go wrong with. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of these speeches. They make me feel invested in the game. And yeah, so shut up, Jake. Nobody likes you. Nobody. I would rather have Carthonasi than you. That's how little I dislike you. That's how little I like you. It's not even that I dislike you. I just like you so little. Um,
I mean, he's giving a good interview or a good briefing here.
Absolutely, he's given a wonderful briefing. I just don't like him.
Yeah.
it's just personal preference. His character is just it's it's like hazelnut creamer. It's just just don't like it.
Yeah.
Well, I like hazelnuts. I love creamer. Do not like hazelnut creamer. The same deal. Do not like it.
I mean, and my great regret is that I didn't send Jacob into the shaft, but I also wanted the happiest ending possible, which means that Jacob has to live, because then he's going to be a daddy, and like his dad, he will abandon that baby later on in life, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Cycles. Cycles and cycles. But I have hope for Jacob. I do. I have hope for him now. Oh, there's the badass right there. 1980s personified.
Now, Miranda would be the logical choice because she is officially our second in command. Really, she's the elusive man's monitor. But of course, we give command to Garrus because Garrus Vicarian is our protege.
Yeah.
So, and frankly, this is a little bit of boosting him because, the last time he led a team, they all died because he made a mistake. Now we're giving him a chance to lead a team and come out on top.
Right. You do that for your friends. You hook your friends up and you make sure that your friends, that depends on your relationship, because sometimes you have friends that you got to knock them down a little bit. That's just the way it is, you got to keep some friends' heads from getting too big. But in the case of Vicarian, you got to pump this guy up.
If I ever become a professional wrestler, even though I'm 41 and well past my prime to do it, if I ever give a microphone promo, I'm doing that high arc point followed by a thumbs up or a thumb to me.
Hey,
that is effective.
It is. Who did we take on this one?
Took Samara and Legion, mostly because at this point we've never actually brought them anywhere.
Okay. Who's going into the hole?
I believe it's, or maybe I did put Jacob in.
I mean, if you did, you did. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Send Kasumi in.
Kasumi.
Because frankly, the right answers are Tally, who I would never risk.
Ever.
Legion, who I would normally do, or Kasumi, whom breaking into stuff is literally her life.
Yeah, I mean, why?
Best person for the job sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Boink, boink. Why do I love the Matic so much? Because it sounds like it's going boink when it shoots.
It's true. I also I find the Matic to be one of the guns that is the easiest for me to actually hit anything with, because
which is funny because it's semi-automatic, and with how bad a shot you are, you'd think that accuracy by volume would be the way to go for you.
Yeah, no, you would think that. But no, semi-automatic. Mainly, it's because I tend not to use up all my ammunition as quickly.
Now, this is actually a really good thing to do.
The mechanic.
The mechanic, because it's a little bit. Oh shit!
Oh god!
It's a little hackneyed in that it's always press a button to advance. But the thing that they do right is that they don't make you chase for the buttons. They don't hide the buttons.
Yeah, no.
All the buttons are literally along the way, and it's just a relay. It's just hit the next button and go.
Yeah, no. I obviously have, we've all played these games where they hide, you have to hit all these buttons, and they're all hidden. Like, you have no idea where they are. That's annoying. And I play video games for enjoyment and relaxation. I don't play video games.
It's one thing to be challenged, but it's another thing entirely for the challenge to be the sole point.
Yeah. It brings me no joy, that sort of a thing.
Well, that's why I don't like Souls-like games. I acknowledge they're popular.
Yes.
But like
nope.
the
same.
The only reason that I played the Star Wars Souls-like games was because they were Star Wars.
Yeah,
And
you are
I played. I am a Star Wars slut.
indeed. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going
Yeah.
to say it. I was going to let you say it. But yeah, no.
Well, it's sort of that's a whole thing of everyone was the Acolyte was the latest thing to crap on. And it was just like, you guys, yeah, I'm not going to defend the Acolyte, but I'm not going to trash it either. You know why? Because it has the Star Wars label on it, and I like Star Wars. Period. I don't need it to be. I don't have a specific
Yeah.
level of minimum quality, because when I put on Star Wars, I'm 8 years old again.
I look when it comes to so again, this got a lot of hate for what happened with 3. A lot of hate for it. And to me, you know what? Hating things is boring. It's just it's not. It's like but
There were things that I kind of got, but in terms of the complaints regarding Mass Effect 3, but and we'll talk about that more. But for me, it came down to the artist's job, and I'm in the video games or art department,
yes,
is to create.
yeah,
So when talking about whether or not it fits what you wanted as the end piece is not relevant to the conversation for me, because the it was the creation that the creators wanted to put out
absolutely.
in the time frame that they could put it out.
And for me, that's where I sit when it comes to things like the Acolyte, things like that. I'm like, you may not like it, don't like it. That's perfectly fine. But you know what? People put a lot of effort into these things, and for you to sit there and crap all over it and there are people who are going to crap all over this like they are going to make that their entire personality, crap all over things. I know this because there are people who have made crapping all over Mass Effect 3 as their entire personality is, I hate Mass Effect 3.
A decade later.
And honestly, that is just it. It's so toxic, and for me, I love the Mass Effect series so much. And you say you're a Star Wars slut. I am a Star Trek slut. I love anything Star Trek, and but it's got those fans, and those fans, I really feel bad for, because they're not able to truly enjoy anything.
And we're going to interrupt this train of thought, because now we're going to see the most horrifying thing ever since the Overlord DLC. David Cronenberg is about to cream his pants. Speaking of Star Trek, David Cronenberg was a fantastic character in that.
Yes, he was.
And as far as I'm concerned, he wasn't whatever his name was in Discovery seasons 2 through 4. He was David Cronenberg.
Yeah.
But yeah, hi. Here's what the collectors have been doing. They've been turning people into smoothies.
People's smoothies.
High in protein. High in prions, though.
Yeah, no, not cool. Oh, thank goodness.
Yep, and there's the number one reason why I want to save everyone. Because because we have worked off camera to make Kelly our side piece.
Indeed.
And you will see the efforts of that in the Tales from the Normandy denouement before we go to Mass Effect 3.
Which will be great, because I've never actually seen that. I've never actually been able to accomplish that. I always save her, but I never do the prep work, unfortunately.
You just got to be like me and be a hopeless flirt.
No.
Yeah, the difference is that I've got no actual game. It's a miracle that I have the wife that I have.
I mean, you and me both, brother. You and me.
But yeah, at the same time, it's sort of a case of just throw it at the wall, see if it sticks. And with Kelly, it sticks because Kelly is a slut.
So I really like Dr. Chakwas
and
and I love that she. So again, we're talking about this entire series of games being nothing more than a whole bunch of sci-fi tropes that have been put together,
mhm.
and the kind of old, really experienced doctor who kind of flouts the chain of command and whatnot. Trope that's very familiar in sci-fi, probably going back.
Everyone remember, on a ship, the doctor is the ultimate authority on board.
Exactly. I like it, and I love that Doctor Chakwas stays with you uh, from the beginning, and is just kind of your confidant, and it is just kind of your your personal physician.
Again,
Uh,
in a long tradition of sci-fi doctors,
yeah.
because you had Major what's her name in Stargate SG-1, who everyone trusted implicitly.
Yep.
You had Bones, you had Crusher, you had not so much Bashir. I, I,
No, Bashir was something else. Bashir was something else, and we could do honestly, we could do a whole podcast
and
on
Robert Picardo
geeking out
was
on
the
that.
best Doctor in
Yes.
Star Trek.
No. The yeah. So
Speaking of doctors,
oh yes.
we send Morden back because there's a math formula going on here.
Yes. Yes.
Where it's like everyone's got a percentage assigned to them, whether or not they are loyal, and everyone on our team is loyal, is part of that.
Yeah.
And so we, and the thing is that Morden, Kasumi, and Tally have the lowest value.
Yeah.
On the squad, and that's sort of expected. I choose Morden because, again, best aspect of the job. Morden is a medical doctor,
Mm-hmm.
and a dentist, and a doctor of philosophy,
Yes.
and I think a lawyer. So, but most importantly, he is a medical doctor. Dr. Chakwas is in no position to treat people who are presently injured or maybe injured along the way. So I always choose Morden to go back because he's the best person to escort, because he can kill, but he can also help the people who are lagging.
Little known fact: he also has a bachelor's degree in musical theater. Most people don't know that about him. So here we have
the roving force field.
the roving force field, but also the prerequisite swarm of small enemies that you so often find in sci-fi.
The other side of it too is that we have the upgrade to our armor that repels the seeker swarms, but I like the fact that there's just too many.
Yep. I think that this is again, this game really it's so familiar, yet puts things together in such kind of a new sort of different way, from from a zombie game with the husks to this the swarm thing, where you can't go too far forward and you can't hide too far back and you have to be right in that warm spot.
Which also informs my choices here of squad mates being Grunt and Thane. Grunt being the close combat monster that he absolutely is, both durable enough that he can actually survive outside the bubble if he ventures off,
Yep.
which the AI tends to do for some fucking reason. Thane being capable with a sniper rifle, so he has a high-powered gun option.
Yep.
Even though it's a little longer range than I would like under these circumstances.
Yep. No, it's a good choice.
And then also Thane has the biotic ability Warp, which will come in handy for things that are armored or have barriers.
Yeah.
So that was the logic behind here. It's not the most ideal, but it functions. As far as who to get, as far as which biotic squad mate you do to erect the barrier to have everyone survive, you have only two choices, and that is Jack or Samara. I choose Jack because there's a specific callback to this in Mass Effect 3.
Yep. I also always choose Jack. Mainly because in my head, Samara's just slaughtering um, collectors.
Mm-hmm.
Slaughters. She is somewhere else, just raining holy hell on the collectors, and that's why you're not facing a million of them. Is because
The
she's somewhere else, just killing them to the point where they develop a legend of what happens when you die, and that she is actually the basically the protector of the underlife.
now
Like
the
she brings people to the afterlife.
now the other side of it too is that a lot of the subtextual this never gets acknowledged in game because it's all based on your because it's all based on what we choose and what our personal motivations are. Much
Yeah,
like how I always have Garrus lead every single aspect of the second team because my boy is capable and this is his chance to prove it to himself.
that's right. Our boy is damn capable.
Um,
Best friend squad for life.
but Jack, we completed her loyalty mission. We did her a solid. We didn't like have that one casual encounter with her that will completely screw up her loyalty, which would put her on the sidelines or get her killed as a result. This is sort of the okay, Jack, I trust you. And
Absolutely.
that will and the fact that you are willing to trust Jack motivates her as a person to put in the extra effort
Yep.
because no one because Jack's so used to people not trusting her or using her, and it's a case of am I using you for your abilities? Yes, technically, but it's because it's my life in your hands.
Absolutely.
So that's sort of that's a different way of showing loyalty is a two-way street sort of thing.
Yep. And here we have another encounter with the husks, which are in one way, like to me, the most annoying enemy in the game, because they always get up on me from behind and I can't see them. And but when you're a trained fister, they get a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, you just throw some fists at them and you're good to go.
And we'll be throwing a lot of fists at Husks in Mass Effect 3 when we swap over to the Vanguard class, which makes us
Absolutely.
play through really interesting because remember, we started with a soldier.
Yes, we did.
Because in Mass Effect 1 in particular, I'm of the opinion that there's no reason to play any other class. That changes in 2 and 3, but in 1, I just like
Yeah.
the
No.
pow like because of the lack of visual effect, like the powers just of the tech and biotic powers just didn't have any meat to them behind
No.
it.
Absolutely. I can. I'm on board.
Plus even on
I'm on board with you.
how immunity was done so differently and just turned you into a tank for so bloody long that by time it wore off, it had already cooled down, so you could just have that on indefinitely.
Yep.
In the Legendary Edition, that got changed, where immunity only lasted for like 15 seconds instead of for like 2 minutes. And here's Jack going, "Okay, gotta rush."
All right, we're doing the final push here.
So
This is a great visual, by the way, right at the end here.
and Rex doing what Krogan do, which is to be the last bastion.
Indeed, and our
Which really is kind of interesting about it because the Krogan were deployed as a meat horde.
Yep.
In the Rachni War, but really thanks to their redundant biology and their sheer size and strength, I would think they'd be great for defensive actions more than anything.
Yep. No, I agree.
Shock assaults. What you want are people that are small, fast, and agile, and Krogan are none of those things.
Yeah, that's true. But sometimes when you're going for shock and awe, you want the most amount of damage in the least amount of time, and that definitely is Krogan.
Yeah.
So here we have our team getting in. In my opinion,
Open the door and hose your bullets down. Garrus gets shot, but I don't know if he got shot or if he's just tired. Like has that stitch in the side.
I think he pulled muscle laughing at the futility of the collectors trying to stop us because we are
Agatha,
goddamn
goddamn fisty.
um uh um so yeah, and again, in my headcanon, Samara just completely
Was wrecking face.
yes, demolishing people, and reading off.
Everyone was doing what Jack did when Jack was first unveiled.
Yeah, and I feel like while Samara was doing it, she was reciting Asari biblical quotes, whatever Asari wisdom biblical quote, whatever it was, similar to the. Lo, though I walk through the shadow of the valley, something along those lines.
So now we're taking Miranda, and we take Miranda for a very specific line, and Tally because I wanted to ensure that Tally survived, and plus we've got the 3 baddest bitches in the Mass Effect universe on that platform right now.
I mean, look, Tally's my go-to throughout this entire series, throughout this entire game. Tally's my go-to.
The other thing was I wanted to make a point of bringing a different person on each segment. So
absolutely. I think that as far as survivability and fighting goes, I think Tally often really compliments you, and really fills in a lot of gaps that your build may lack, unless of course you go, the tech build, but.
Tech armor is actually kind of frightening.
Tech armor is kind of frightening. We cannot do anything but acknowledge the frighteningness of tech armor, which is kind of funny because it seems useless when other people have it. Like when the enemy has it, it seems utterly useless. It's like, oh, it's a pretty armor thing, but you still died really quickly. It is what it is. That's why we're the PC and you're not.
Yep. Player character rules.
Damn right.
The player character rules because the player character rules are fucking broken and favor the player character.
Yeah. My biggest problem here with this particular fight is, of course, running out of ammo. Because again, I'm a terrible shot, as have been established. Which is why I often play games where I don't have to worry about ammunition.
I'm just sick of waiting for the next Uber.
Yeah, that mechanic gets a little old. Like that particular thing gets a little old really quickly. I also like Tally's drum.
Chiquita Vaz.
Yeah, which is a callback, folks, to Baldur's Gate. You can go look that up.
And the character who does that is completely insane. Here we go, baby. I'm tired of this shit.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh, it's a mushroom cloud. I love. And I love how the radiation stays for a little while.
Well, the funny thing is that it's not actually a nuclear weapon. It's just something that it's just something so bloody heavy that it produces a localized effect akin to a nuclear bomb.
So these guys are annoying as shit.
And we will never see them again.
Which I'm very thankful for. I mean, 3 does have its own enemies that are also annoying as shit. I mean, let's face that. But these guys are
mostly either the worm neck dragon things, because you just can't do shit with them unless you. Speaking of running out of ammo, by the way, that's why I run around and collect everything.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, every game has its annoyances and has its things that are kind of.
And speaking of
yeah.
Like, I get the David Cronenberg and H.R. Giger want their wet dreams back.
Yeah.
I don't even get how this is supposed to work. How taking all of the human smoothies works into creating a giant effing robot. But
Yeah. Oh, well, I honestly think that in my head canon, I think that the uh, the collectors have gone off the rails a bit with the plan here, and this is not. This is the collectors operating completely outside of the normal plan of the Reapers. This is something went wrong, and they're trying to build um, a humanoid Reaper.
Essentially, what they're doing is that they're building an oversized husk.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. And there's
Yeah,
again, the Reapers
the
are like, why?
the idea of the Reapers is that each Reaper has one of these inside them that is a both a simulacrum of what that species looked like originally,
Mm-hmm.
and also contains their entire genetic information at the time of harvesting, and I guess collective memories.
I see. Yeah, no.
Space magic bullshit.
Yeah, space magic bullshit. Um, so for me, anyways, in my head canon, where I'm saying the collectors have gone completely off the rails, is that they are programmed to harvest.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what they've been doing is they're harvesting. But because there's no actual reapers there
Mm-hmm.
to help them or guide them, they have kind of created this husky monstrosity. Um,
I
and
can see it. I don't quite.
no,
I don't quite like it, but I can see it.
no, I don't like it either. It's just sometimes you come up with ideas. You're like, I don't like that idea.
In
I
the
don't like
absence of information, your brain fills in the gaps.
Yeah, and for me, it's more like, thanks, brain. I hate it because it's disgusting. But that's like, if the Reapers never showed up, this is what the collectors would do to the universe. Like they would just keep doing this nonsense, and there would just be all of these gigantic husks,
Semi-robotic mannequins.
yeah, floating around in the universe. So here we have another of the.
It's not really a boss fight, and that's
No.
what bothers me about it. For all of the, I mean, Mass Effect, the Mass Effect series writ large has some great boss fights.
Yeah.
You've got Saren.
Yep.
You've got the Spectre, I forget her name, in Lair of the Shadow Broker. You got the Shadow Broker himself.
Yep.
Kai Lang could have been so much better.
Yeah. No.
But
you're right. You're right.
In terms of the mechanics of fighting him, I get what what BioWare was trying to do, and so I'm a little forgiving of it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Kai Lang himself as a character is a clown.
Absolutely.
But this is what this really is a somewhat less complicated but larger scale version of the Thorian from
Yep.
Mass Effect 1, which
Yep.
was not exactly inspiring.
No, you're absolutely right. This is absolutely that. There's no question. There's also a little bit. There is a thing that they do in this game. This does it, and then there's one, and it is super frustrating, where it's like they give you a target, you have to keep hitting the target, but at a certain point, they blast the area, and if you're not in the perfect spot, you get annihilated.
I like the fact that Thane is doing so little that he has time to give the update.
Yeah, well, I mean, somebody's got to be the radio man.
You don't understand. I'm an assassin. I'm not meant for close-up fighting.
Yep, no, somebody's got to be the radio man, and that's you.
So let's blow this joint.
Yep. Oh, hey.
Hey, President Bartlett.
Yep. There he is, the anti-President Bartlett. In my headcanon, he actually is a descendant of President Bartlett. That is
so. This takes place in the West Wing universe.
Yes. Actually, in my headcanon, everything takes place in the West Wing universe.
Doing that, I will destroy you fist.
Yeah.
They liquefied people. Soylent Green is people.
People. We got my 6-year-old to say that. It's hilarious.
And even Miranda is kind of like, yeah, no.
So here's my thing. He's like, we need to steal this technology. This technology will boost us forward. I'm going, I've seen the technology. It's not that far advanced from what we already have.
Well, and plus, Reaper technology and Reaper influence on the galaxy is the core problem of the game's universe.
Yes.
And at its core, all of this is Reaper technology.
Yes.
Everything the collectors are doing.
Absolutely. And that is when progress is stunted or guided towards one area, and this is all we are going to, we're only going to go this path. You miss out on a lot of technology that you otherwise should have had or would have had. And I feel like here we have.
You'll replace me next?
Or what? You'll replace me?
I noticed.
And that's the line. Consider this my resignation.
Nice. Hey, bro, I bet you wish you had come along. If you had come along, this wouldn't be, you would have maybe been able to stop this, but you can't.
Well, if we had come along, we would. That was kind of the whole point of this, is to have him be doing this from from Morden's lab or from the engineering department, or wherever on the ship, or even next to Joker. Is like, what could he actually do?
Right. Oh god. Oh god. Here comes the oh gods moment. Here it comes. Oh.
All right.
Terminator.
All right. Time to abort this baby.
And you gotta shoot him in the eye. Well, he's sucking up, and he is going to shoot you.
You can also shoot him in the heart.
Yes.
And this is what I hate. He's got 3 vulnerable parts, and he is super good at protecting himself, be it by either getting him covered or moving around so goddamn much.
Yep. This one is I would call this particular thing a boss fight. Certainly.
It's not. It's a shooting gallery. Like an old-timey,
I mean, I can understand that.
I can understand shooting gallery.
I can understand why where you were coming from with that. I would still just, this just happens to be the nature of this particular boss fight, but it's annoying as shit. And especially when he does the thing where he's going to blast the entire area with his beam, and yeah, that's annoying.
Or his tentacles.
Oh god, tentacles. Oh, could this?
No, Reaper Dono Yamate.
I'm thinking, how could this be any worse? And then you remind me that there are tentacles.
There are tentacles.
There are. Oh my god, there are tentacles. Yeah, great tentacles. Oh.
The Reaper IFF is why I favor, or the Proto Reaper, the Baby Reaper is why I favor abortion rights, because holy crap, this should have been aborted.
Honestly,
or
thanks, I hate it.
or what a better boss fight would have been finally facing down the Collector General, and then realizing that even though he looked like the Scions, that he was freaking massive. And fast.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been bad. That wouldn't have been bad at all.
I base his movements around the very programming that you had the Shadow Brokers movements on.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
And for the record, I have no idea what this little file thing in the corner is. I can't make it go away. It's going to stay there until the mission is done. So
that's okay.
I apologize for that. No, Tally!
Like hell, we are going to lose our Tally.
He got her Gurk.
Oh god. Oh.
As you wish.
motion sickness. Oh gosh. Um. Uh. Uh.
Did anyone get the number on that everything?
Uh.
18. Thank you.
So, that's one of these small moments where you are shown that Shepard is in fact an enhanced human being and is stronger than would be indicated by their size, is their ability to lift these giant pieces of debris off of people.
Honestly, they don't look that solid.
Well, I mean, maybe not, but you know,
I mean,
like to think of it that way.
Yeah,
Oh, God, more swarms! Oh, God! Why the swarms? I'm gonna shoot at them. Run!
why am I gonna shoot at a thing where I could only hit one and I swarm of thousands?
And here we have this guy.
Yeah, this guy that I was saying would be a much more effective
You're not
boss fight after shooting the Proto Reaper
Yeah.
off of its mount.
No, you're not wrong. Here we have running, more running, which again, oh, awesome.
And now we are saved, and Joker gets a chance to be a badass.
That's right, for no apparent reason. Because he should have just, I mean, they should have used the ship's cannons on them. I mean, honestly.
the ship's cannons only fire forward facing, so.
I mean, that would have been cool if it popped up and fired and then turned.
Although the Guardian laser systems are omnidirectional, so you know, like maybe that.
And then here we have Shepard making it.
Yay!
Yahoo!
Because-
Which, by the way, there is one ending where he doesn't.
Yep.
They do.
But then it's pointless because then you can't even go on to Mass Effect 3 at that point.
Exactly. And here we have the prerequisite. We got to get out of here before, everything blows up.
The question is, how do they get out of here? Because you never see the Omega Relays pair.
Yeah.
Yep, and there's the implication the entire time that kind of disproves your whole fan canon of the Reapers are not directing the Collectors. Because Harbinger disconnects, and then you see the Collector General, finally being, Harbinger was remotely controlling it this entire time.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. Like I said, I don't like my headcanon. I don't like the idea. But, it is... My idea came up with it. So, they have established that they do have FTL drive aside from...
Yeah, you need the relays to propel yourself to a different star cluster.
Right. And so that's where...
Because while there are a lot of stars in the galaxy, they tend to congregate together.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, look at him. Looking all mad
Blow me.
stuff. Looking all mad and stuff.
I'm getting a lot of bullshit on this line.
I'm hearing a lot of bullshit. Talk. You're like a politician who's never been elected to anything. You're just mad.
Cerberus' strength for every Cerberus is humanity.
I mean, all seriousness, bro. It's not like they had new technology that we didn't know about.
And frankly, the only thing that they had was the stuff that would Reaperize people.
Yeah. Sounds like that's what you're looking for, which is not cool, bro.
Not cool at all.
Not cool.
But again, the whole completely powerless, because I guarantee you, at this point, that he tried to remotely control the Normandy and is realizing that he can't.
No, you can't, because we set Edie loose. That's right. We set an AI loose, and she's got a sense of humor, and it's actually kind of childish.
And apparently an appreciation for porn.
Yes. Also that. Which is probably Jeff's influence, to be honest with you.
So anyway, that is the ending to Mass Effect 3 or Mass Effect 2, excuse me, writ large. We will be continuing on to Mass Effect 3 presently, immediately after this video, and continue going, we'll see how many videos we can get pre-recorded before running out of room and taking a break.
Yep.
Overall, before we go into the what I call the aftermath, Mass Effect 2, in terms of gameplay, I think it's the most solid of the stories. In terms of storyline, Mass Effect 1 was the best story. The only thing that Mass Effect 1 lacked was a sense of urgency to it. Something that Mass Effect 3 does very well. You know, Mass Effect 3 is a game that is all climax, no build up.
Yep. And as the last and looking at it as one game in 3 parts, that's what 3 should be.
Anyway, let's enjoy some talk with our crewmates.
Indeed.
Saving Kelly, and she is eternally grateful for us, and she will find a way to pay us back later, I'm sure.
Excellent.
I can't get the memories out of my head.
That's all right.
She's doing what Thane's doing.
Oozing into every pore. Faint sobs echoing the confined space. But I can't dwell.
Trauma will do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
I'm alive.
We'll take care of you.
Back to the old Kelly. No, you're not.
Doobie doobie doo.
Doobie doobie dooba doobie doobie dooba.
Walking around. Go talk to Jeff.
Yep.
Jeff.
So we have.
Hey, Shepard,
Glad the Collector Reaper crap is over, right? Right?
No.
No.
I assume everything's going well up here?
Edie and I are just enjoying the calm.
That's the least bit, Jeff.
Just enjoying the calm before the shitstorm. All right, Jacob.
And there will be definitely a shitstorm. But Jacob won't be there.
Hell of a way to tell your boss you're quitting. Yeah, that's something I've been contemplating lately is, you know, how do I set fire to the place that I work?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have that problem because I work for the federal government. It's already on fire.
More. So Jacob's like, hey, you did it. Morden's like, awesome.
I love Morden. Morden's my guy.
I
I also love Thane, honestly.
Yep.
All of the characters, especially in Mass Effect 2, I mean, all of the characters throughout Mass Effect, but especially in Mass Effect 2, not you, Jacob.
I do like the fact that every single crewmate generally approves of destroying the Collector base.
Yeah.
Even though, you know, on the Paragon Renegade scale, there are more Renegade characters on our crew than there are Paragon.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, the only people who question us are like, you know, considering the possibility of retaining the base, was that really the best move? You know, they're not disapproving, but they're wondering what could be.
Yeah. And my whole take on that is, like, the base actually contains no technology that we don't already have. It's just
save again for Reaper-fied people.
Save again for the indoctrination stuff. But it's just bigger than, and, you know, bigger, sure, okay, is better in a lot of ways. But if we wanted to, we could build things that big.
Shepard, we talked
That's not...
And then Jack doesn't give a fuck because Jack is awesome like that.
Jack is awesome. Honestly, I was about to say, and I should have said this when we were standing in front of him, but even our chef is a renegade. As my bowels will tell you. But no. I love Krogan.
If you kill the most dangerous thing in the galaxy, that leaves us.
Yes, my Krogan. Yeah.
So anyway, that is all there is to it. There's only one thing left to do to celebrate, and that is to cuddle.
Oh.
Incoming message from Admiral Stephen Hackett, Alliance HQ.
I'll take this in my quarters.